Miles Life here, and we are back.
Yes, we're
Yes,
live.
Son of Source and my beautiful wife,
Yeah.
Dr. Myers. Yes, we are back, and today we are talking about
Designing your destiny.
yes, baby, designing your destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So, in designing your destiny, how do you design your destiny?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and really, it's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So we're going to get more into how you design your destiny, but it all starts with how you feel. How you feel. So how do you feel? How did you feel when you woke up today?
I felt good today.
I felt unbelievable.
I felt energized. Yeah. I felt ready to go.
Yes, yes, me too. Me too. I was very, very thankful and grateful for having the day that I had. So I was thankful when I woke up today. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and being thankful and grateful, then I set the intent for the day. So when you set that intent for the day, it's getting your emotions started, getting your day started, getting that movement started. Whatever you feel like you want to do for that day, that's what you're getting started.
That's what you're doing.
I also thank God for my beautiful wife every day too. That I'm able to wake up next to my queen. You know what I'm saying? Because see, that's a beautiful thing as well. So men that's in relationships that love their women, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about. All right, so back to designing your destiny.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about today.
And
So,
really, that's all part of designing your destiny.
it is.
Because if you're depressed, if you're stressed, anything like that, then you're pulling yourself further away from your destiny and putting yourself in a little box of pain and negativity.
So what questions do you guys out there have about designing your destiny? That's what we want to know. Like, do you feel like you're stuck? Do you feel like you lack energy? Do you feel like you're struggling getting something accomplished? What challenges are you having?
A lot of people right now have been telling me that they lack motivation. So we've been when we work with our clients and things like that. Getting that motivation is the toughest thing because we can kind of get stuck in a rut. We also kind of get down on ourselves too and say that these things in the past happened, so it just kind of repeats itself. So if it
Right.
continues to come back up over and over and over, then that means that you got to process this thing through and then start designing your destiny, start creating your future. Releasing yourself out of that stress.
Right. All right. So I have some material here I'm going to read. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, you'll be able to see the visuals. I don't have them on Instagram because we're learning. We're learning about how to use all this stuff, all right?
We're getting it together.
Yeah.
We're getting it together.
But if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can see this content that I'm posting right now. But I'm going to read it so you'll have that understanding. So what I want to talk about is affirming today that I am an instrument of my own destiny.
Yes,
I am an instrument of my own destiny.
because you are. You are. You're an instrument. You play beautiful music through your life. So what type of instrument are you?
So let's talk about the pendulum, right?
Mhm.
So like a pendulum, forces on either side propel you to move through what you believe to be opposites. So we swing up, things are going good. We swing back the other way, things are going bad, right?
Mhm. So when you think about that, if you're swinging down, go into it and understand why you're swinging down, so in that way you can gain momentum to swing back up.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you swing back up, then you will stay up because you can hold that. You can hold that understanding of, okay, this is what I know brings me down, so I'm going to stay away from those things and I'm going to stay up. Because remember, it will swing back down eventually.
It will.
Because that is for contrast, that's for learning, that's for understanding who you are, that's for making those tough decisions.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for everybody in Instagram land. All right. So, just know that those opposites are complementary. What happens is we need to have the good, we need to have the bad so that we can come into the middle and really understand our connection spiritually.
Right, because we have to have that balance. Once you have that balance, then it's like balancing those chakras, those seven lights, those seven lampstands. So when they're balanced, then you're sealing that channel up and then you're connected directly to source. And when you're connected directly to source, you feel happy, you feel free, you don't feel heavy, you feel light.
Right.
And that's really what you want to feel. When you feel sad and depressed and distance and separated, you feel down and heavy. So that means that you're vibrating at a very, very low vibration. So you want to lift that vibration up. You want to lift yourself up because it's important that the more you vibrate high, the more you disband any negativity and any stress, and then feel more like your true self.
All right. So now understanding that, schemas, structures, patterns, and how they're not to limit us, but to sustain us and accompany us on the path of creation. So ultimately, with limits, infinity could not be experienced. Without limits, it could not be observed. Without reflection, life could not be understood. If you don't reflect, you don't understand things.
Well, a lot of times we're forced to reflect on things because when you reflect on things, then that's when you actually learn who you are in that decision that you've made. Because if something bad happens when you reflect on the negative thing, and then of course if something good happens, you reflect on that as well. But a lot of times we don't hold on to the good; we easily hold on to the bad. So in reflecting that, just know that you're reflecting so that way you can process it, learn something through it, and then move forward through it. So that way you don't have to repeat that same process, that same cycle. So learn from it and then move forward.
Right, and that's why the pendulum has a swing. Without mats, we would be lost. Without foundation, there would be no future. Without patterns, there would be no tools. The feeling of freedom then does not come from being free from structures, but from knowing how to use them.
So when you think about that, the structure is kind of set there, but it all depends on what structure that you're breaking free from. If you're breaking free from a structure that's kind of oppressive and stress and something that makes you feel less of yourself, then when you break free from that, it's kind of hard because you're kind of programmed into that. So just know the more freedom that you feel, the more you start putting light and understanding on what type of structure you feel comfortable in.
Right.
Because you will eventually create a structure for yourself. And then once you do that, you want to create that structure that makes you feel good. And then also something that's productive, something that gives back, something that makes you feel love, because then you will give love out in that same structure. And then if people like it, they will follow that structure as well. And it's not to create that structure to make people follow. It's just something to make you feel good, and then also they will see a system, and then maybe it implements in their lives, and they feel good from that too.
Right. Very good. So now we're going to create our destinies. We've talked about the factors that help us do that, but let's put a little more structure around it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I want Instagram to see this graphic. All right. What is the smallest thing I have energy for? What can you do today that will not overwhelm you, that you can move forward towards your goals, your dreams, your destiny? Okay? So mindset, there's two sides to the coin. There's what's going on upstairs in our heads, right? And then there's our bodies and the energy we have to move forward to complete something, right? So, and then once you can kind of merge the two, then you have that creative freedom because now you're growing, now you're learning, now you're really moving forward.
So you're combining that brain, the heart, and the body.
Right.
So, and if you notice, the heart and the body is separate, as close as the brain too. So when you're combining those three, then you have that bliss, you have that understanding. So then that way you're traveling in the macabre, because if you think about, like, say, certain the triangle. If you put one upside down, the other on top, then you have to start David. If you spin both of those in different directions together in that circle, that's when you have that creative circle. So you're creating that macabre. That's how your spirit will travel. So in that, this is the same type process. If you look at that in the middle of that, that is where your creative freedom is.
That's where it is.
So in that creative freedom, that's where you're designing your destiny.
Right. So your mindset, what's going on upstairs in our head, right? A lot of times, well, do I deserve that? Do I deserve to be wealthy? Do I deserve to be a millionaire? Do I deserve to have that person in my life that, can really love me for me? Do I deserve that? Or am I capable of accomplishing this? Am I capable of passing this test? Am I capable of making it through school? Am I capable of fixing my relationship? These things play in our head. And that's the ego. The ego will kind of say, no, we got to be safe. So in order for us to be safe, we got to make sure we think this way. So no, you don't really deserve that because it's a lot safer over here because you're already doing what you know is comfortable to you. There's no unknown there. So there's less fear. So the ego is driven by that fear complex.
And if you notice, when you get fearful, then you get angry.
Mm-hmm.
So, that anger is fear's protector. It's also the ego's protector. If you notice that if you run out of words to say, then you start to fight. It's like, oh, I have no more talk for you because now it's taking over. It's aggressive. It's aggressive. So just know that when you're in that, you have to release those things because you start feeling or understanding why you're getting fearful. So and you start understanding why you're getting angry. So it all kind of has a play on each other, so they all kind of work together. So when you can understand and process it, then you can really identify and control yourself pretty much on a deeper level, within yourself.
Right. So that mindset will really dictate if you can really accomplish your goals.
Yeah. Because it starts with you believing in you. If you do not believe in you, then no one else will believe in you. Yeah, you have people around you and friends that say that's a great idea, or maybe you won't have people, right? A lot of times people don't have friends, So the biggest piece is believing in yourself. So the more you can believe in yourself and say, you know what, I'm getting this thought for a reason, I'm getting this idea for a reason, so I'm going to run with it.
Right.
I'm going to run with it.
Just think about those people that hit the lottery and then go broke. It's because their mindset was like, no, you don't really deserve to be a millionaire.
Yeah, because you're not taught finance in school. You're taught how to be a worker, how to get a job. Not how to have ideas and be expressive and creative and things like that. So when you think about that, they get that big lump sum of money, and then they go right back into the tendencies that they would normally do in that polished mind state. So if you build your mind and you train your mind to that really we're all here and we're all born, we're all billionaires.
We're abundant.
You know what I'm saying? So if you know that, you already have everything you need on this earth. You just have to remember and understand that you came to that cloak of forgetfulness, I should say. But then when you get back and you understand who you really are and you know that you have abundance in everything, and then we're all tied in together and we're all connected. The love equals love. All of those things will start thriving, then your abundance will flow freely. Everything will start coming to you.
Because we want you to create your destiny. We don't want you to just be a victim to life.
Right.
You're more than that.
Way more than that. You're priceless. You're priceless. So don't let a wage or a job or a time that you're giving away, for a wage dictate or tell you who you are.
Right. So also, definitely you're not going to be able to accomplish your goal if you don't have the mind, if your mind isn't right, if you don't think you're capable of it, and if you don't think you deserve it. So work on those things. Just like weight loss. Do you feel like you're capable of losing weight? Do you feel like you deserve to lose the weight?
Can you picture yourself at the weight that you want to be? So that's another thing, A lot of people say, well, are you qualified to coach somebody on weight loss? And as far as with us, it's always an ongoing process. I've lost 45 pounds, and it's always an ongoing process. So in that, I always say, yeah, I'm qualified because it's always progress. As long as you're making progress and you're working towards something in your life, and you see the results, and that means that you're understanding the fruits.
Right.
You get.
So what's the smallest thing you could do today that you have energy for? So let's go to that. Now we're talking about the energy part of it.
Right.
So you have to have the right mindset, and then you have to have the energy to do it. Right? And the energy comes from your body. And we're taught not to pay attention to our bodies. We're taught to be all up in our headspace, worrying about how we're performing, worrying about how we're going to get it done, and what we're going to do, and how we're going to make this money, how we're going to get this hustle going, right? So we're all upstairs in our head, and we're not really thinking about our body, because our body is holding the head, and our body connects us to the earth, and the body energizes us so that we can have that motivation. I like to think of it in terms of energy versus in terms of motivation. We're about to lose power, y'all. So yeah. So it's important to really pay attention to your body. So one, are you getting enough sleep? That's the first thing to evaluate. Are you resting?
It's important, rest is important because that's when your body recharges, right? And then also, that's when your spirit is free too. So when you're sleeping and your spirit is free and it's traveling and it's doing all of these things as far as entertaining and connecting to things that's higher than what you can understand at this very moment, you'll get that. But it's when it's free like that, and then when it comes down to and reconnects with your body, then you understand, man, I've had a good night's rest. When you feel that, then you feel clear in the morning.
Right.
Then you wake up and then you say, thank you. You set your intent, and then you feel more empowered in your life. Other than just existing and having things happen to you and then you react to those things and behaviors that people tell you or dictating things in your life. Because it can be kind of miserable, if you feel like, you have no say so people are dictating your life. So you break free from that. Start showing yourself love. Start giving things back. And if you're missing something in your life, then what you do is you give it out. You give out love when people want love. Because then you will also start receiving that back in return. It may sound crazy, but it definitely works. If you do it, it works. Absolutely.
So now, are you eating properly? What you put in your body will determine how much energy you have to really work towards things and push yourself. Motivation. You need fuel.
And then are you eating properly or are you overeating? Because a lot of times people overeat to make themselves feel good too. Because your ego will tell you, you need more, you need more, you need more. So you have certain cravings, certain hunger, certain thirst that then you eat these things to kind of keep you in that mind state to make you feel safe so that when you don't break out of that frustration or that sadness or really that self-hate, that you've been, continually dictating on your body or continually doing to your body. So a lot of times if you're able to break that and start loving yourself and really seeing how you want your body to look, seeing how you really want your life to look, that destiny, envisioning the things that you want. Me and my wife brainstorm every night. We talk about things as far as how we want our lives and how we want our business to go and all of these things. So it's very, very important that you can brainstorm and create that destiny for yourself and also believe in it.
Yeah. And then are you mentally healthy? That's a big one. Like a lot of times we don't even think about mental health as being relevant to our lives.
Right.
But if you're having a hard time getting out of bed, if you're overeating or undereating, if you're feeling like, why am I here? I'm worthless, I'm purposeless. If you're feeling like super anxious and, maybe having episodes where your heart is racing or, you're pacing and shaking or your anger's out of control and everybody keeps telling you these things, that's a sign that you need to work on your mental health.
something is going on, you need to get to the why. Because if you're reacting in a way to where your body is reacting, you know, and if your body starts reacting, then your mind will tell your body to do things that you really don't want to function in. You know, because it can lead you down that dark, dark place to where you feel like you have no way out. You know? And then, and of course, all of those things are lies because that's just separation from who you truly are. So that's why you feel bad. You know, so the more you feel bad about something, remember that that's a lie that your ego is telling you. So now you have to fight back and say, no, I'm going to love myself and I'm going to work through it. I'm going to design my destiny. I'm going to create this future for myself. And this is what I want. And I believe in myself.
Right. So take care of your mental health, y'all. For real. It's a thing.
It definitely is. You know, a lot of people are not talking about how they feel, especially in their mental health, because we've been taught not to talk. Not to feel weak, especially men, not to let people know your problems and things like that. But the more you can open up and talk about things, the more you express these things, the lighter you feel, the more connected you feel to who you are. Because those things make you happy. You don't want to feel happy. You want to feel free, especially in your own life. You feel more empowered.
So lastly, this is major. Do you spend any time in nature?
Oh man,
that's going to impact your body.
If you're getting back to nature, because just think about this. We are made of the same chemical compound as a star. So when you get back to the earth, you get back to that connection, and then you recharge. You plug in. If you can walk in the grass, take your shoes off, walk in the grass, plug in, recharge, clear and balance that negative energy that may be not flowing through your body. So you want to flow that thing, process it through, get it out. So now when you have that clear channel, so you can have that clarity and understanding of who you are and how to dictate and move through your life, how to have beautiful experiences, how to have that clarity.
Perfect. So get out in nature. It helps your immune system. The vitamin D helps all of that. Ground yourself. Gets the energy, absorb the energy from the earth into your bodies. It'll help you be stronger.
Connect with animals too. Connect with animals. The more you can love something, you see how their natural behavior is, how they naturally connect with each other, how they naturally function in love, and understand it too. And they have that balance, they have that structure, but it's all that nature. It's all nature, so it becomes free to them. And then that's when you get back to that, and then you balance that for yourself. You understand who you are too. So design your destiny. It's very, very important that you take control of your future, because there's so many things trying to run your life, dictate or take your emotions, take your energy through your emotions as well, through your pain, through your fear. So get back to happy, get back to love, and get back to family, because we're all connected.
We are. So get your mind right, get your body right, and then you'll have that creative freedom that will allow you to shape your destiny. All right? So lastly, I have my cards here. So it's just saying here, I'll go through it pretty briefly here, but you needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies.
So you think about negative thoughts. The more you think about negative thoughts, the more you create those thoughts in your life. So it's just like the law of attraction. You continue to bring that energy back into your life. So if you continue to recreate that, you're thinking about the past. You're not staying in the present.
So, before we began this video, we meditated, and Jesus' presence is with us.
Absolutely.
So we have some words from Jesus as well. All right. And he's saying, seek you first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
So, and what did Jesus tell us? He said the kingdom's inside of us. The kingdom's all around. So in there, if you seek you the kingdom of God, then look inside yourself. And the more you connect with who you truly are, which is the kingdom of God is inside you, then you know that you're connected also to everything around you as well, because God you're in the spirit, you know. And that's one big thing as far as understanding who you are and where that came from.
hmm And now is the best time ever to really move towards your goals, to really move towards creating your destiny. And that's what it's saying. Time to move quickly. Choose logic over everything you feel. You know, start to get your mind right, get your body right, so that you can make those changes because they're going to happen suddenly.
So, yeah,
Suddenly. We got Michael on a horse here. He's on the move. Yeah, yeah. And by doing that, you'll revitalize aspects of yourself that you thought were dead. You know, you're thinking, well, you know, I can't do that anymore. I don't know if that's something that's for me. But no, it's a part of you and it's something that's been lying dormant, that's just been waiting for you to really act upon it and get your mind right so you can move towards doing it. So let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Yeah, just shine. You know, do your thing. Feel good about it, and people will see and feel the energy off of you.
when you think about that, that light will connect to someone else's light, and then it will continue to be brighter and brighter. And then the more you connect to the light, the stronger your light will be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're connected with love in that light.
Mm-hmm. So congratulations. You've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to your next project. So celebrate your successes.
Yes,
Reward yourself.
yes, because now you know and you understand that I'm designing my destiny.
Re-
So design that destiny.
Right. Reward yourself. Black Obsidian, I pulled this the other day. But what that is about transmuting darkness into light. So celebrate that you are moving towards turning something that was nothing into something. And nothing shall be impossible unto you. Nothing shall be impossible unto you.
Because you have abundance. You know, it's open to create. You know, the more you're able to believe in yourself and to also believe that Source wants you to succeed. You know, wants you to succeed, loves you so much to where you don't even understand. We don't even have words to express how much Source loves us. God loves us. The universe loves us. Whatever label you want to put on, you know, loves us to the point to where all of our angels around us support us, our ancestors, everybody around us, everybody's pulling for us. And that continues to say, you know, we're open if you want to talk to us, if you're able to reach that vibration.
Right.
You know,
Right.
if you understand that level of who you are in yourself, if you understand the key, you know.
Mhm. So your real stability and efficiency, taking charge of a situation, and then past life. So we have experiences before we got into these bodies, right? Because we're spiritual beings having human experience. So within understanding that, you can find stability. And that can help you move towards your goals. Because once again, like the structure we talked about in the beginning, you need the structure to have the freedoms. They go hand in hand.
Right, right. Yeah, in that, the freedoms is going to let you know that you have that abundance. The more you understand that. Because if you notice the people that have that abundance, they feel free, or it seems free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they have true abundance. Yeah.
So he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father.
So he's telling you that he's connected to the Father, and then also the more you connect to the Father, you can also do those same works, and even greater works, because he will be with you, helping you, guiding you, leading you all every step of the way. And see, the more that you understand that connection, then you will know who you truly are.
Yeah. So lastly, most importantly, is release yourself from that which holds you back. A need to detox, unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. Be compassionate towards yourself. It's okay. You can do it. You're divinely guided and protected.
You have to love yourself. You know, And then also the more that you love yourself, then the more that you also connect to the earth and you love things on the earth. You love the animals, you love the plants, you love all the creation that's on the earth because you're all connected. We need one for the other so we can balance our love.
So peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you.
Absolutely. Peace be unto you. It's the beautiful, beautiful thing. You know, that beautiful peace is something that we almost named this video "Peace Be Unto You." You know, because it was so beautiful how Jesus comes in and then also strengthens us in that as well. Yeshua, I call him Yeshua. So just know that in that, peace be unto you.
Yeah,
We love you,
we do.
and we want you to always understand who you are. And we have to end on that note.
Yes.
So peace be unto you.
Yeah.
Mine's life.
My life.